Hello everybody and welcome to your home practice. My name is Trishy and today we will be focusing in on hamstring flexibility. You will need 2 blocks and a strap for today's practice, so let's begin in a comfortable seat. Either kneeling or on a block, place your palms on your knees and close your eyes. Begin to ground yourself to your mat and your practice, releasing all other responsibilities and expectations. As you inhale, fill your belly, lift your spine, and as you exhale, slowly hug your belly in and up. Keep inhaling and exhaling through your belly for a quick minute meditation. Place your palms together, prayer position in your heart center. Inhale deeply as you exhale through your mouth. And release, blinking your eyes open. Come to lay down on your back, knees bent, feet on the floor. Grab your strap if it's close. You can always use a belt. And bend your left knee and hug it into your chest. Your right knee, rather. Flex through your toes. Grab a hold of your strap and loop it around the ball of your foot. Extend your right foot up to the sky, sole of your foot facing up. Feel free to keep a slight bend in your knee. You're just starting to warm up the hamstrings, so you're really not looking to push anything too far yet. If you want to go a little bit further, you can extend your left leg out in front of you, toes facing towards the sky. Breathe into the stretch of the hamstring as you stretch. Keeping your foot flexed, toes pointing towards the front of the mat. Pull it in a little bit closer, then bend your right knee, release the strap, and then hug your left knee into your chest. Feel free to take a couple ankle rolls, just warming things up a little bit. And then grab your strap and we'll go to the opposite side. So hook your strap around the ball of your foot, bringing the sole of your foot and extending it to the sky as you straighten your left leg. Keep a slight micro bend in your knee or a large bend. Breathe deeply into the stretch on your hamstring. And if you would like to go further, extend your right leg out onto the ground, keeping your heel on the ground. And slowly breathe into the stretch. Hug your left leg a little bit closer, then bend your knee, release the strap. Hug both knees into your chest, knees go wide, and if you would like to go a little bit further, you can take happy baby pose, pointing both soles of your feet towards the sky and either looping your 2-piece fingers around your big toe or grabbing onto the outer edge of the feet. Keep your elbows to the inner edges of your knees so that you can use them to open your knees and pull your feet down to the floor. And release. Hug your knees into the chest. Bring your forehead to your knees. Rock up. Then come into tabletop pose. Shoulders over wrists. Hips over knees. Put the weight into your fingertips as we take some cat and cow. So exhale, bring your chin to chest, round your spine. Inhale, drop the belly, lift your gaze. Exhale, rounding. Inhale, dropping your belly. Keep going at your own pace. Take a couple more, and then extend your right leg back behind you. Be sure that your lower abdominals are hugging in, and then lift your right leg off the mat, then tap your toes down. Lift, tap your toes down. Lift your leg, tap, lift, tap, lift, toes are pointing down, tap, lift, tap. Then extend your right leg behind you and bring your right foot in between your palms for a low lunge. So if you're on your fingertips, lengthen your spine as you pull through your chest. Then inhale, raise your arms overhead. Keep your knee over your ankle and slowly drop your hips. Bring your palms back down to the mat. And we'll take half splits. So straighten through your right leg. Be sure both hips are pointing towards the front of the mat, so right hip pulls back, left hip pulls forward. And try to extend the distance between your pubic bone and your chest. Bend through your right knee. Low lunge, and then come back into tabletop pose. Extend your left leg out behind you. Hug your lower abdominals in, and then raise your left leg to the sky. Lower, tap your toes, and lift. Tap, lift, tap, lift, tap. Keep your hip hugging down. Lift, tap, lift, and then bend your knee. Bring your left foot in between your hands, low lunge. Open up through your chest as you extend your spine forward. Keep your left knee over your left ankle as you inhale, raise your arms overhead. Keep your lower abdominals hugging in as you lengthen through your tailbone, and then bring your palms back down to the ground. Half splits, straightening through your left leg, toes pointing towards your face. Right hip pulls forward as left hip pulls back as you square your feet, and lengthen the distance between your chest and your pubic bone. Stay on your fingertips or on blocks, bend your knee, curl your back toe under, and we'll come back into our first downward dog. So lift your hips up into the sky as you press your chest towards your thighs. Feel free to paddle the knees, one foot and then the other. And then slowly walk your palms back to your feet. Bring your feet to the outer edges of the mat, toes pointing forward as you fold forward over your thighs for a ragdoll fold. Feel free to clasp onto opposite elbows and have a slight bend in your knee. Let your head hang heavy. Then inhale, straighten, flat back. Straighten your knees as much as you feels comfortable, and then fold over your thighs. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. And then inhale, bend your knees, lift all the way up, palms to the heart space in the center. Step into the middle of your mat, lift your toes. Then inhale, raise your arms overhead. Exhale, hinge at the hips, folding forward. Inhale, lengthen, flat back. Exhale, fold over your thighs. Then again, inhale, bend your knees, arms overhead, and palms in prayer. And again, bend your knees, arms overhead, inhale, exhale, hinge forward. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold over your thighs, bend your knees, arms up as you stand, palms together in the front of the heart. Bend your knees, inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Bend your knees, arms go up and overhead, and bring your palms into prayer. Fold forward, hinging at the waist, and then step back as you plant your palms into downward facing dog. Lift your right leg up to the sky, then step your right foot in between your hands, back foot at a 45-degree angle, right knee over right ankle. Extend your arms back behind you as you lean your chest and belly over your right knee. So try to keep your stomach off your thigh as you extend your arms back. Inhale, lift up as you raise your arms overhead, warrior one. Keep that left hip pushing forward, right knee back, right hip back. Straighten through your right leg. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold over your right leg. Pyramid pose, keeping both hips squaring to the front of the mat. Inhale, lengthen through your spine, and then exhale, fold over your right leg. So as much as possible, try to keep your chest and your pubic bone extending away from each other. And breathe deeply. Inhale, lift up halfway on your fingertips or blocks. Bend into your right knee. Then inhale, raise your arms overhead, warrior one again. Drop your palms down to the ground. Lift up into standing splits so your fingertips are a little bit in front of your right knee, and then drop your left leg down to tap, then lift it up. Tap your left toes down, lift your left leg. Tap and lift. Keep straightening through your right leg. Tap and lift. Tap your toes and lift. And then very carefully step your left toes back for a high lunge. Plant your left palm down and raise your right arm overhead for a twist. Bring your left palm down, your right palm down. Come into plank pose. Lower your knees, chest and chin down to the mat. Lift up into cobra, shoulders are away from the ears, lower down. Curl your back toes under and lift back up into downward facing dog. Okay, opposite side. Left leg lifts up to the sky. Step your left foot in between your palms. Right foot at a 45-degree angle. Left knee is bending over left ankle. Then lift up. Halfway, extend your arms behind you so that you're shooting your chest and spine forward. Curl your shoulders onto the back body and keep your belly off your thigh. And then inhale, lift up into warrior one, left knee over left ankle. Square your hips to the front of the mat. Bend a little deeper and then straighten your left leg, squaring your hips to the front of the mat. So left hip back, right hip forward. Then exhale, straighten your spine as you bring your fingertips down to the mat or blocks. Lengthen the distance of your chest and thighs, and then exhale, fold over your left leg. Feel free to bend your left knee if necessary. You should always just keep a slight micro bend so you're not locking your knee. And then bend into your left knee. Lift up, warrior one. Palms down to the ground. 6 inches in front of your left foot, half splits, standing splits. Tap your right toes down, then extend your right leg up. Tap your right toes down. Engage your glutes as you lift up. Keep going. Tap and lift. Tap and lift. Keep extending through your spine. Tap and lift. Fold forward over your left leg a little bit more, and then very carefully step your right toes back into a high lunge. Plant your right palm down, left arm overhead for a twist. Lower your left fingertips down. Step back into downward facing dog. Roll forward into plank pose, chest pointing forward. Drop your knees, chest and chin down to the mat. Lift up into cobra, lower down, plant your palms, step back into downward facing dog. Lift your right leg up to the sky. Step your right foot in between your hands, back foot parallel to the back edge of your mat. Warrior two, bending deeply into your right knee. Keeping it over the right ankle, arms extend out to the side. Lift up tall, left palm down, right arm overhead, reverse your warrior. Come back center, warrior two, hands onto your hips, triangle pose, shifting your hips to the back of the mat, right palm to the inner edge of your right foot, either to a block or just lifting up, and then raise your left arm overhead. Lengthen the distance between your hips and shoulder blades, but be sure they're pulling away from your ears. So all that length is coming from the mid-body. Bring your left palm to your left hip, warrior two, bending your right knee. Then turn your right toes towards the side of the mat. Wide-legged forward fold, hinging at the waist as you fold in between your legs. Elbows pushing away from each other. Relax your head and neck. You can either stay here or clasp on to your big toes with your two-piece fingers as you fold forward. Release the clasp of your toes. Inhale, plant your palms. Roll forward to the front of the mat, high lunge, and then downward facing dog. Roll forward into plank pose. Lower all the way down to the mat. Lift up into cobra, shoulders onto the back body. Plant your palms and step back into downward facing dog. Lift your left leg up to the sky. Step your right foot in between your hands, right foot parallel to the back edge of the mat. Lift up into warrior two, arms extending wide. Left knee over left ankle. Drop your hips a little lower. And then right palm down, left palm overhead, reverse your warrior. Breathe deeply. The legs stay the same. Come back center, warrior two. Straighten through your left leg. Triangle. Hips go to the back of the mat as you drop your left palm to the inside of your left leg. Right arm overhead. So really lengthen all four corners of your body. Open your chest a little bit more. And then release, coming back into warrior two, bending through your left knee. Hands to your hips. Both feet facing towards the right edge of your mat. Wide-legged forward fold. Hinge at the waist, folding forward. Shift a little bit more weight back onto your toes. And stay where you are, or clasp your left palm over your right leg, raising your right arm overhead. And we'll switch sides, so walk your body over to your left side, right palm on your left leg, left arm overhead. Shift your weight into the heels. Come back center. Then walk forward to the front of your mat, high lunge, then downward facing dog. Roll forward into plank pose. Lower all the way down, elbows are hugging in. Lift up into cobra. Shoulders are away from the ears. And then take a wide-legged child's pose. Big toes touch, hips go back to meet the heels, forehead down to the mat, arms extending in front of you. Relax your body down and deepen your breath. Begin to walk your palms back in as you lift up. Come and take a seat. Grab both blocks and have them somewhere close. Extend both legs out in front of you. Raise your arms overhead as you inhale and lengthen your spine. And exhale, fold over your thighs, clasping on to hold to whatever is comfortable. And you can even use your strap. But the main thing here is to lengthen the distance from your chest to your pubic bone. On your next exhale, try to fold a little deeper. So this is a great stretch for your entire posterior chain. Straighten your arms, lift up, then bring your palms to your heart center. Bend your right knee and bring your right foot to the inner edge of your left thigh. Straighten your left leg out in front of you. Grab your blocks, so you'll place one on opposite sides of the leg on either side. And inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold, bringing your elbows on top of the blocks. So this is encouraging you to lengthen the distance again between your chest and your pubic bone. Because when you are pushing or pulling yourself into a forward fold like this, the best way to protect your lower back is to do it with as much as possible with a flat back. Keep trying to point your left toes towards the sky. Inhale, straighten your arms overhead as you lift. And we'll just go to the opposite side. So left foot to the inner edge of your right leg. Have blocks on either side of your right leg as you inhale, lengthen arms overhead. Exhale, bring your elbows down to the blocks as you pull your chest and upper back forward onto the blocks. So you're trying to keep your spine as straight and long as possible as you fold over that right leg. Keep your right toes flexed. And keep your mind focused on the alignment of your spine. Straighten your arms as you lift back up, arms overhead. Then exhale, palms in prayer. Bring your blocks out in front of you as you face the long edge of your mat, spreading your legs wide. For side splits, bring your toes towards the ceiling as you inhale, raise your arms overhead. Then exhale, as we did before, bring your elbows onto the blocks. You can have them on whatever height is comfortable, and you can always sit up on a pillow or a block as well. So this is again lengthening the distance in your lower body and your upper body. So you want your spine to stay nice and long. And then you can fold forward, relaxing your neck and head. Keep flexing through your toes and your ankle. Breathe deeply into this intense stretch. And then inhale, very slowly and mindfully begin to lift back up. You can move your blocks off to the side. Use your palms to help your knees into center. And then lower slowly down onto your back. Arms out into a T or a cactus. Shift your hips. Keep them square. And then bend your right knee, hug it into the chest. Extend your left leg out in front of you. And then twist over to the left side of your mat, bringing your knee with you. Try to keep both collarbones facing towards the sky as you breathe deeply into your lower belly. Then bring your right knee back center. Bend your left knee, hug it into your chest, then extend your right leg down onto the mat. So we'll take our twist from here, keeping your right knee on, or your right palm on your right knee, on your left knee rather, then twisting over to the right. Keep extending your left leg out, or your left arm out to the side, collarbones facing up. Breathe deeply into your belly. And then bring your knees back center. Extend your arms and legs out beside you, in front of you. Palms facing up, Shavasana, our final pose. Relax everything down onto the mat. Relax your facial muscles and your chest. And begin to digest all that work you just did in your hamstrings as you take a minute's rest. Begin to wake up, wiggling fingers and toes. Lift your arms overhead and take a big stretch. Then roll onto one side using the strength of your arms to help yourself take a comfortable seat. Place your palms on your knees, close your eyes. Take a moment of inner silence. Place your palms in prayer in front of your heart center. Inhale deeply, and then exhale through your mouth. Namaste. Thank you so much for practicing today with me, yogis. Feel free to comment, like, or subscribe. I hope you have a beautiful, beautiful day. Namaste.